Yo, what's going on, everybody? One Piece chapter 1031 is unofficially out. Spoiler warning, if you hadn't read the chapter, what are you doing here? Go read it and come back. Go ahead and hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and of course, hit the little bell so you can get notifications. And let's get straight into it. So today we're gonna start way out on the front cover of Shonen Jump magazine. You got Luffy, you got Yamato and Momo looking cool, getting some shine on the front page. And then we're gonna cut, no pun intended, to a double page spread of all the first mates. You've got Rayleigh, you've got Ben Beckman, you've got King, Katakuri, Killer, Marco, Shiryu of the Rain, Beppo, and even Sabo. This is Oda's doing the people's work, straight up fan service right here, because everybody knows how much the community loves the first mates. Drop a like on the video if you like the first mate. Now, enough footing around, and let's get into this chapter. So we pick up where we left off in the last chapter, and we go to this pile of rubble that is supposed to be crushing Big Mom. Law and Kid definitely caught Big Mom off guard with their awakenings in the last chapter, and this was the result. Big Mom seemingly crushed by a bunch of steel beams, and man, it looks pretty fatal. I mean, that's a finishing move if I've ever seen one. When Burning Blood 2 comes out, it is going to be peak. And Law's over here with his analytical mind. He's like, oh, so that's your awakening. You assign a level of magnetism to your opponent. That's pretty cool. How long does that last? And Kid, always keeping the same energy, he's like, why the hell would I tell you? And you gotta love Kid's energy here, right? I mean, you're rivals, bro. Why would he tell you how long his power lasts? Just because you had to use it to beat Big Mom doesn't mean that he has to give away all his secrets now. But Law's honestly just trying to pull a fast one on him, most likely. Then, in the very next couple of panels, three things happen. Number one, Law gets his answer. Number two, Kid is actually wishing his awakening lasted a little bit longer. And number three, just like we all suspected, even in the last chapter, Big Mom gets up and dusts her shoulder off. It's like I said in my last video, you cannot crush Yonko. It's not gonna happen. They're way too strong for that. So I don't really know what Law and Kid are gonna do at this point, but Law, I mean, you better stop using your brain on Kid and start using it on Big Mom, because you're gonna have to come up with something, bro. Because if that was Kid's plan to crush Big Mom, that ain't gonna work. We're gonna have to do something different. But anyway, she gets up, she's pissed off. Obviously, she just got hit by a bunch of steel beams, and she's already in her typical Big Mom mode. And she gives them the choice, life or Oshiruko. And much to the Beast Pirates' dismay, they realize they tossed all the Oshiruko on the floor when they were playing around with it earlier in the arc. So I love it how that just came back full circle. So she starts stealing souls left and right. She takes the souls out of the Beast Pirates, and she actually puts them in the same beams that Kid just used to hit her upside the head. So now we've got a bunch of homies running around. And then she does something that we've never seen before. She takes 1 year of her own lifespan and she absorbs that, making her grow in size. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is something new from Big Mom. We have never seen this before. This could be Big Mom's awakening for all we know. We never knew that this was an option. Prometheus, Hera, and Napoleon all look slightly different as well, like they might have transformed. They've definitely at the least gotten bigger. And Law and Kid are just standing there looking absolutely shook. I mean, it kind of reminds me of when Kid and Hawkins and Apoo were trying to start their pirate alliance, and Kaido jumps off the Sky Island and lands right in the middle of it. And when he gets up, this is the look that they were giving him, like they had never seen a Yonko before. And this is the exact same thing, except you add Law to the equation. They look scary. scared. But the difference is they're not gonna back down this time. I mean, the real difference is they don't have someone like Apoo here to betray them, but they're not gonna back down this time. They're gonna stand up to Big Mom, and they're committed to taking her down. We get a little panel of Yamato here, and she decides to do the smart thing, stay out of it, and take the smart route around the commotion. Obviously, she's still on her mission to try to get rid of the weapons cache that's in the bottom of Onigashima, so she really doesn't have time to be getting into battles with Big Mom right now. And at this point, we check in with Apoo and Diaz Drake. And to Apoo's surprise, Drake's not having it. He doesn't want any alliance with Apoo. He doesn't like him. He doesn't trust him. And he just decides to go ahead and get his one right now. I guess he figures this is a way to pay Luffy back for letting him join the alliance. And this definitely makes sense, right? I mean, just as much as Apoo epitomizes a real pirate, in this case, Drake epitomizes a Marine. Like, a Marine would never do this. They would never compromise their own values for a mutually beneficial relationship that's not even gonna last. So Apoo's attacking him, and Drake's not even phased. He's like, bro, I already figured out your attacks. Not only do you have to look directly at your opponent, but it works by sound. So all you have to do is cover up your ears and you're pretty much good. And right at the point where Apoo looks like he's about to panic, Yamato comes breaking through the wall. And I like how the numbers are still just chilling. I mean, Apoo and Drake are duking it out, and the numbers are technically there to back up Apoo, but they're just chilling, you know, they're drinking their sake, you know, minding their own business. It's not a big deal unless it's a big deal. You know how it goes. Anyways, here, Yamato doesn't know what's going on. All she sees is Drake, one of the Flying Six members, and an associate in Apoo. So she goes on the attack. She thinks that they're in her way, and she goes straight on the attack. But both of them instantly try to get her on their side. Like, Apoo definitely looks at this as an opportunity to get Yamato on side and take down Kaido. He knows that she's already no longer on Kaido's side. I love how when he actually approaches Yamato and he's like, hey, Yamato, I've got a plan. She kind of just brushes him off because she's focused on Drake. She's like, not now. I've cut ties with Kaido. I don't really have time for you right now. And she blitzes straight after Drake. So Drake basically blocks her attack, and he's like, wait, I've cut ties with Kaido as well. And after knocking him to the floor, she's like, oh, well, my bad. Well, in that case, keep doing what you're doing. I've got to go ahead and run off and do my thing. This is a true testament of just how strong Yamato is. She burst through the door, and instantly, neither of these dudes wanted the smoke. She blew off Apoo, and Drake basically said, listen, I need to let her know the truth now so that she doesn't come after me. Anyways, as she's running off, one of the numbers, Fuga, comes crashing through the door. There you go, Yamato. This wouldn't be a real mission if you just ran down to the basement and got rid of the weapons cache. No, you've got to have a giant chasing you. This is One Piece, Yamato. Welcome to the story. In the next section, we see something that personally I was not expecting. We see Brook and Robin currently running for their lives, to the point where Brook is even about to take flight. Why are they running, you ask? It's not from the Beast Pirates. No, the Beast Pirates are pretty much one and done after this point. It's not from fire. It's not from the Kazenbo that we saw in the last chapter. Oh no. Nico Robin and Brook, but mostly Nico Robin, are being pursued by CP0 already. They're already making their move. I remember in the last chapter when Kanjuro drew the Kazenbo and the Kazenbo started taking off. Everything was on fire. It was pandemonium. And one of the things that we saw was that the CP0 members were like, yo, let's move. But I just assumed that they were just trying to get off Onigashima until Onigashima's conclusion, and then they would move for Robin. For some reason, I also had it in my mind that per their discussion with Rob Lucci and the ships being on their way to Wano, Zoro, I thought that they had a plan and that they were gonna wait until Wano's conclusion to try to move in on not only Wano, but the Straw Hats and of course, Nico Robin. But they're using this chaos to their advantage and they're moving for Nico Robin right now. So yes, of course, they have no choice but to run for their lives. Robin is absolutely spent and Brook is tired from fighting as well. And from here, we get some insight from Robin and she's letting us know that even among the elites, these masked agents are in a class all of their own. So I guess that puts them in a different category from Stussy and Rob Lucci and Kaku. These guys, these are the real deal. So just let that sit for a second. Okay, we cut now to Sanji and he found himself in the pleasure district. Surprise, surprise. But to our surprise, he's getting like stones thrown at him and the crowd seems really upset with him. And in the next panel, we see a girl. She's on the floor and she looks like she's beat up. She's bleeding above her left eye and Sanji's upset with himself. He is absolutely beside himself. And we realize this was actually Sanji's doing. Somewhere in him getting his new powers, he lost consciousness or he spaced out and he ended up beating up a helpless woman that he ended up coming across when he was running. And to be honest, I have a hard time even believing this, you know? I mean, this does not match Sanji's character at all. He's definitely a ladies' man. So he gets really depressed about that, even to the point where he's walking past Queen, but he doesn't even see Queen. He doesn't care. Queen's patronizing him, of course. And he's saying, hey, the pleasure hall is closed. What are you doing here? There's not going to be anybody here. Sanji's not even paying any attention to him at all. He's actually completely lost in thought over the situation that just happened. And he's contemplating just what type of person he wants to be on this Straw Hat crew. I mean, he can definitely be used as a weapon, you know, without a heart or a consciousness. And Luffy would definitely be able to become Pirate King with that type of weapon, but we know that's not really Sanji. So he's going back and forth in his head about this inevitable decision that he has to make. And at that moment, he pulls out his raid suit and Queen's getting excited. He's like, yo, finally, this is what I wanted to see. I want to see the Germatech with my own eyes. And what does Sanji do? He stomps on it. He destroys it and he will not be using the raid suit in the future. And thus that is a really weird ending to that chapter in Sanji's life. It didn't last long. I think we saw him use the raid suit a total of 2 times. And to be honest, when Niji gave him the raid suit, slipped it in his pocket, it seemed like it was coming from a good place. It seemed like he was just looking out for Sanji. Even though they don't like Sanji, Sanji don't like them, he doesn't want to be a part of the German 66. We totally get that. But I don't know, maybe I just thought that the raid suit gave Sanji some potential. Not that Sanji's not strong, but you know, it gave Sanji a potential power up. But of course, awakening his exoskeleton and his accelerated healing factor, maybe he doesn't really need the raid suit. I guess the raid suit just makes him disappear and fly. Although the raid suit was really cool, I wanted to see him use it as well. I'm kind of with Queen in that I wanted to see him use the raid suit. But don't get me wrong, this inevitably had to happen. If it's gonna change our boy Sanji, you know, the last thing he wanted to do was hurt a woman. You know, that's not him. So if that means destroying the raid suit, then it really is what it is. He pulls out a transponder snail and we cut to Zoro. Zoro's in the middle of the fight with King. King is in his full pterodactyl form and they're right in the middle of the battle. I mean, Zoro's got all 3 swords out and I guess he gets a ring coming from his pockets or whatever it is that Zoro has. I don't even know if these are pants. Yo, what is this? Does Zoro have pockets? Somebody let me know in the comment section. Anyways, he gets a ring and he answers it in the middle of the battle. He's like, I'm in the middle of a battle right now and I'm not even sure how I got this transponder snail on me. But Sanji's like, yo, never mind that. I slipped the transponder snail on you. So Zoro's like, well, what do you want? I'm in the middle of a battle. And Sanji's like, listen, if I'm not myself by the end of this battle, I just want to let you know that you need to go ahead and end it. And this gives a real somber tone to the end of this chapter that I just really wasn't expecting. You know, Sanji and Zoro, they have that kind of rivalry relationship, but I wasn't expecting Sanji to ask Zoro to take his life by the end of this battle. You know what I mean? Like, we love to see the rivalry, but it's all fun and jokes. Like, they still gotta make Luffy the Pirate King, but this is deep, man. I mean, after Whole Cake, we know that Sanji's more in tune with his sensitive side, I guess. He's definitely a ladies' man, but bro, right now, he's definitely a whole certified lover boy in my feelings in the middle of a battle. Let me stop. Anyway, so we cut back to Sanji and he's ready. He disappears off rip. So Queen's like, yo, how did you disappear? Is this the German technology again? Like, you just disappeared from the naked eye. And obviously that pisses off Sanji even more. He reappears to give this man Queen hell's memories to the face. And I don't know, guys. Queen looks finished here. Do y'all think so? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think this could be the end of Queen? Did Sanji just finish Queen with one move? I don't think so. But this is the same move that he used against Waratsume, and Waratsume was a lot bigger than Queen. So let me know in the comment section. That concludes the chapter. I'm gonna give this chapter a 7 out of 10. I mean, there wasn't much going on. I mean, there was a lot going on, but there wasn't a lot going on, if you get what I'm saying. Definitely a good chapter. We got the CP0 stuff, so we know what they're doing right now. Obviously, we're gonna have to send prayers to Law and Kid because right now it's not looking that good. Yamato's still on her mission, and of course, our boy Sanji became a man today. So make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe, make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Anime Sifu. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you guys